Hello students, I am A. Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor of English from Jawaharlal Nehru College for Women, Ulundarpet. So today I am going to deal with the topic named Change of Meaning for second year BA English students from the subject History of English Language. So in this topic what we are going to deal with it is about language. What is a language and what are the changes that languages have undergone from time to time. So this is one of the major important question that is being repeated in all the university exams. It is very important topic. First of all, I would like to introduce about language. As you all know, language is a communication tool which we use it in order to express our views, ideas, thoughts and expressions. In this video, we'll see what are the changes that language has undergone. So, if we analyze that, the meaning of the word, as you see here, the meaning of the word and then pronunciation of the word and the usage of the word has been going on several changes, right? So, it is going on several changes from period to period, right? So, in this topic, change of meaning, let us discuss about how the meaning of the words change from time to time and the meaning of the words in old English differs from that of the modern English. So we have to concentrate on these topics, how words got evolved, each and every word which we use it, how they got evolved and the formation of each and every words which we have to focus on it, and then how the meaning of the words changes and what are the word making process or involved in this topic. The first process in this change of meaning is onomatopoeia. That is, words formed by the imitation of sounds is what we call it as onomatopoeia. For example, the word hiss. Hiss refers to the sound made by the snake. You might have observed that the sound made by the snake is hiss, right? From that sound, we get the word hiss, right? So the hissing sound of the snake. The same way, the sound made by the bees, we call it as buzz, right? The buzzing sound of the bees, right? The other examples are click, clap, bow bow, cuckoo, bang, tweet, beep, etc. Right? Onomatopoeia is a process in which words are formed by the imitation of sounds, right? So let us come to the second process. Second process is in which the words are formed by fusing or the combination of two existing words. That is, in English we may consist of many words which are combined together or fused together to form a new word. For example, we have an existing word called air and then port. We combine these two words and a new word is formed, airport, right? A new word is formed. Then next word, black and then board. We combine these two words and a new word called blackboard is formed, right? In this way, several words are formed in English language, right? The other examples you can say it as basketball, boathouse, bookcase, footwear, seashore, landmark, right? And another thing you have to notice is that there is no change in the formation of words. We just clip those two words and a new word is formed, right? This is the second process. When you come to the third process, words are formed by shortening of the long words, right? Shortened form of long words. For example, examination, right? From this word, we shorten the word and a new word called exam is formed, right? From gymnasium, we get the word gym, right? Omnibus, we call it as bus. From laboratory, a new word called lab, right? We just shorten the long word, right? Perambulator, a new word called pram, right? We shorten the word, right? Refrigerator, we get the word fridge, right? This process is nothing but shortening or clipping of the words, right? So come to the fourth process. This fourth process is the words formed from proper nouns. That is, as you know, proper noun refers to the names of person, place or things, right? This process we call it as ephoneme, right? The word saxophone. You know the word saxophone, right? It is a musical instrument, right? This word, this name, that is this word saxophone, is formed from the word from a person's name, Adolphe Sax, right? He is a Belgian musical instrument maker. From his name we got the word saxophone, right? So let us discuss about other examples also. The word Xerox, right? Actually this word Xerox which we are using now refers to the name of a company, right? This Xerox is a Xerox machine making company name, right? But nowadays we are using it as verb, right? I need a Xerox copy of this book, right? We have started using the company's name as a verb, right? The other examples are Marxism, which got evolved from a person's name called Karl Marx, right? And boycott, the word boycott got evolved from a person's name called Charles Boycott, right? And sandwich from the Earl of Sandwich, right? So the words, many words got evolved from proper names, right? Proper nouns. It can be either name of the person, place or things, right? So next go to the fifth process. The fifth process is words formed by adding prefix and suffix. As you all know, prefix is the group of words that we use it in front of the word and a new word is formed, right? And suffix refers to the group of letters which we add at the end of the word, right? Examples: con, inter, pre, pro, sub, im and etc., right? And suffixes shan, able, full, meant, li, ship, ness, right? We can take a word called port, right? So by adding the prefix im, it becomes import, right? And x, by adding ex, that is prefix, it becomes export, right? And then by using the word port as suffix, we get the word transport, deport, transportation, right? So using the single word, by adding the prefix and suffix, we get so many words. So many words are formed by adding of prefixes and suffixes, right? So, and then coming to the sixth process, words borrowed or loaned from other foreign languages, like any languages. It can be either French, Latin, Tamil, Greece or Hindi or any language, right? So English language consists of so many languages which have been borrowed from other foreign languages, right? So let us go to the examples. Cafe, right? So cafe, from the word cafe we got coffee, right? So this word cafe is a French word which we are using it now in English, right? And bazaar, right? Bazaar is a Persian word which means market, right? Next one, chutney, and then catamaran, right? We call chutney, which we use it as a food item for idli or dosa, right? And then kattumaram, we say it in Tamil, right? Kattumaram, which we call it as catamaran, right? Which we are using it as English words now, right? These are Tamil loan words, right? And coming to the word like guru, it is a Sanskrit word. And then loot, shanti is a Hindi word which we are using it in English now, right? I want to say about this word called shanti. When T.S. Eliot was writing one poem, he couldn't get very suitable word for peace, right? So he couldn't get that particular word equivalent to peace, right? So he borrowed this word shanti from Hindi language, right? And then coming to the next word, cartoon, it is an Italian word, and aqua, it is a French word, and karaoke, haiku are Japanese word. In this way we can add more words which we can say that they contribute more words to English language. This is another one of the word making processes, right? These processes have contributed to the growth of English vocabularies in English language. Thank you.